everyone, this is Lori from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I have something really cute to show you. Now last year, if you remember correctly, I made a really cute little snowman treat caddy and also a gingerbread treat caddy, and it went over very well. I actually had a few people email me to let me know that they were really good sellers for them at their craft shows. So I decided to do a different version of a gingerbread caddy, and I think it turned out really cute. And I did a lot of little things to give it little extra added touches here and there. But it was very easy to put together, so stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what I did. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need a little wooden crate box from the Dollar Tree. And then you're going to need to choose any kind of white multi-surface acrylic paint that you'd like to use. And I would give it at least a couple of coats of the white paint. And I painted everything, the bottom, the sides, the inside, okay? Then you're going to let it thoroughly dry for a couple of days. Then you're going to come in with some Mod Podge gloss, and I gave it one coat. Okay, and I gave that one coat inside, outside, and even underneath. Okay, and then you're going to allow that to dry at least overnight, and then your little boxes will be ready. So I would work on your little boxes first. Okay, and you can buy this at the Dollar Tree. I chose to use the gloss, but you could use the matte if you'd like. Alright, so I'm going to set this aside. And then the next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take a paper cutter, and you're going to cut 3 pieces of white cardstock. Now I bought this at Hobby Lobby. They have the 80-pound white cardstock in packages by Paper Studio. And you're going to cut these 3 pieces of cardstock at 5/8 of an inch in width and 5 1/4 inches in height. Okay? And then with that same paper cutter, you're going to take a sheet of the white Silly Winks glittered craft foam that you buy at Hobby Lobby, and this is the type I show you all the time that's wafer thin. And I just ran this with my blade up and down, a few times on my paper cutter, and it cut everything so nice and evenly. And that will be glued onto the front. And once you have all these glued together, you're going to put a book on top just to make sure that it's completely flat as it dries. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this off camera, then I'll be right back and I'll show you the rest. Okay, so while our squares are drying, I'm going to be placing some trim around this box. I bought this trim such a long time ago, and I've tried to find it since then and I haven't been able to find it. But if you go on Amazon and you type in Christmas rickrack, there are some options there of some red and white rickrack without the green, and they've also got some where it's all red with some gold stitching down the middle, and they are very pretty. So I just wanted to let you know that. So I'll probably be using the last of these little bits. I'm going to be using my Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to glue this like this all the way around my little crate, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Okay, so it'll be at the top and the bottom, but I'm going to do the top first. And I won't do the entire box on camera, but I Just wanted to get started and kind of show you what I'm doing here. Make sure it's nice and even. That will make all the difference in the world as far as how your box looks. Okay? And then just keep going all the way around. And just be careful that the rickrack doesn't slide. Make sure it's nice and even. Okay. And we're going to go around this way, just like this. Okay, make sure that's even. And then I'm going to see, kind of measure this right about here. I think it needs to be cut. So that's what I'm going to do right here. Put the last little bit of glue on here. There we go. I got a little heavy on this part with the glue right here at the end. Didn't mean to do that. It'll dry. Alright. And then just check it out once more. Okay. So we're going to allow that to dry, and we're going to do the same exact thing on the bottom as we did the top. Okay, and of course I'll do this off camera and I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, I glued this rickrack all the way around with Fabri-Tac, and it turned out beautiful. So this is our little squares that we glued together. It's nice and flat. And you can see that I already started, I glued some trim up here at the top. And I'm going to take this same trim and glue it here on this side and here on this side. I won't need to glue any on the bottom. And I'll show you why in a bit, okay? Now, I could have rounded the corners, but I decided not to because I felt that if I rounded the corner, I would be very limited as far as my choice of trims, because some trims, you just can't round them around the corner without it looking kind of funky. So I decided to keep everything with sharp corners. Now, this particular cord that I'm using, I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. You can find this in the wide ribbon Christmas aisle, and I paid half this price because everything is 50% off right now as far as Christmas crafting goes. And in with the wide ribbon, you'll see like a couple of boxes, and they'll have all kinds of smaller Christmas trims in it. And they had this exact same trim last year, and they also have it this year, so I was glad to see that. So I just take a little cut right here, because see how it starts to unravel after a while? Well, I want to make sure that that's not doing that when we glue it down. So I just take a cut, and then I put a little bit of the Fabri-Tac all the way down. And I'm going to glue it like that. make sure that none of this white glittered craft foam is showing on the front. You want this right here along the edge. Now you could also use rickrack if you wanted to, but I'm making this to kind of match the sign that I made, and I'll show you that after this is dried, of course. And so off camera, I'm going to do this side as well, and I'll be back. Okay, so we glued this on nice and neat. So just here at the corner where I joined the cords, I'm going to put a couple of little red rhinestones. One on this corner and one on the other corner, and I'll show you why in a moment. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put just the tiniest dot of Fabri-Tac right here and right here. Now you might be thinking, Lori, you're always telling us not to use the Fabri-Tac because it eats away at the foil on the back of the rhinestones. And that's true, but these are different. I bought these in a big package. These are little crystals. They were at Hobby Lobby on the clearance section, and I couldn't believe it. I got them for like, oh gosh, it was less than $2 a bag. And so that's what I'm using. So they have this iron-on stuff on the back. It's not that foil. So I can use these with the Fabri-Tac. Okay, so I'm going to allow that to dry. All right. Now the next thing I did was I made a little sign, and here are the measurements to the sign: 3.5 inches wide by 2.5 inches in height. Okay, and I have a cuttle bug, and so I used this Merry Christmas die cut. But before I did that, I kind of did the same thing. I took a couple pieces of the white cardstock, glued it together with a Fabri-Tac, and then cut a piece of the white Silly Winks, glued everything together with the E6000, or with the Fabri-Tac, I'm sorry, not E6000. And then I just went around here with a Fabri-Tac, and I put rhinestones at all four corners, and then I added a couple of little holly berry stickers that I had from Hobby Lobby. So I just made this very simple sign. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to place that sign right here up towards the top part of this billboard, as I call it. And I want it to be 3D. So on the back of it, I'm going to be using some foam mounts here. Okay, so I'm going to get my foam mounts. I like using the super glue foam mounts from the Dollar Tree, and they carry this in the hardware section. So I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to place one in each corner. And then one in the middle, just for the heck of it. Okay. Now, I think it would be best when you go to stick this on your billboard, you want to get this up towards the top, okay, as much as you can go. But I think it would be best to stand up, which I'm going to be doing now, and that way you can really see. You can use your mat to measure, but you can also really see about where you'll be placing this. Now, before you actually press it down, make sure that it's exactly where you want this. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I like that there. So I'm going to be pressing down like that. Okay. So then we have what looks like this. Okay. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to have to lift the camera up a little higher for that. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on the back of the inside here and slip this in. Okay. So then once we do that, I'm going to show you the star of the show. This is a little gingerbread lady that I bought at Hobby Lobby. I did not pay $4.99. They have all their Christmas ornaments 50% off. So I bought this for $2.50. And I'm going to take this part off here. It's very easy to do. You could probably even do it with your fingers, but you just twist it out like this. Go the other way, actually. Lefty-loosey. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Yeah. There we go. And it's out. Now this is nice and flat, so I'm going to be gluing her on here like that, okay? And I'm going to be using E6000. I think it's important because of the weight of the ornament. Now you can also find a lot of really cute ornaments for $2 a piece right now at Dollar General. I'm not going to recommend Dollar Tree because honestly, from the ornaments that I've seen at the Dollar Tree this year, Dollar Tree needs to do a whole lot better. So I would highly recommend going to Hobby Lobby and, you know, finding the little gingerbread aisle. They have ornaments hanging up there and also in their ornament section. Or go to the Dollar General. So those are my recommendations anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some E6000 on the back, and I'm going to put this in our garage because you want a well-ventilated area. You want this to dry for quite a while. I'm going to let it dry for as long as I possibly can, maybe even a week or so, and you know, before I start putting things in here. And this is fine because it's the E6000, it's not touching any food, it's just, you know, I'm just gluing this on the back with this. So I'll go ahead and do that and glue this down here with the Fabri-Tac in the back, and we'll be back and we'll fill the little crate. Okay, so I wanted to show you how everything turned out. I let this dry for a solid week, and I did add these little resin peppermint candies on here, and I bought a whole strand of these from Hobby Lobby. They were on the clearance rack, so I just lucked out. But they were originally with the jewelry section, the Christmas crafting jewelry section. So I think it turned out really nice, and looks nice all the way around. And since the board has dried, it's nice and stiff. So this is what we have. And so now you're just going to fill it. Now I've got some white shreds here. I'm not going to put in a ton of the white shreds because I don't think it needs it. But I am going to sprinkle just a few here at the bottom, okay? And so you can put in anything you'd like. I found these Chessman cookies at the Dollar Tree, and they also had the exact same thing at Kroger. They had these and also some little gingerbread men, and they were $1.29 a bag. So I thought, since this looks Christmassy, I'm going to use this instead. Okay, but you can find these for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. And then I decided I was going to take some coffee grounds, and this is HEB coffee. They have some little samples in the coffee section that you can pick up. I think I paid $1.58 for those. And then this chocolate bar, the caramel filled, and so I'll be giving this to a good friend. And put this in like this. And maybe, I think I'm going to put this in the front. Yeah. Let me, okay, there we go. Put that a little to the side. So it's nice and full. And I'll probably take a clear plastic bag and just place this right in the bag and tie it at the top with a bow. But I think it turned out darling, and I think these would make wonderful, wonderful little gifts. So I'm going to probably end up giving this one to my daughter-in-law, and I think she'll enjoy it. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. And be sure to check out my videos. I'll be posting every Friday all the way through Christmas. So take care, God bless, and have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.